What is up, YouTube? I'll give a shout out to one of my fans. It was his birthday yesterday. And you may know him on Facebook, you may not. Well, I had it right here. I'll give a shout out to Glenn Updike. Thanks for the support. You might know him on Facebook as I just had the link to his Facebook page. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It was just there. You may know him on Facebook as Ning Lindo. Oh, it was his birthday yesterday, and a friend of his had asked me, hey, you know, he's a huge fan of yours, could you give him a shout out in your next video? And I said, yeah, you know. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali, 74, lived a long life, one of the greatest boxers of all time. So I want to observe a moment of silence real quick while I spark this. So, now, I would have done my unboxing for my pipe and tobacco today, but because I didn't verify my age with pipesandcigars.com, when I bought the pipe and tobacco, it might get here sometime next week. This person who challenged me to a shred off on Facebook said he was going to post a video on Facebook, and I have yet to see a video. But as soon as that person posts a video on Facebook of them shredding guitar, I'll give them a video of me shredding right back. After I confirmed my age on pipesandcigars.com by taking a picture of my state-issued ID with my smartphone and sending it to pipesandcigars.com, they sent me an email today. They're like, you have been verified. Your order's been sent. Awesome. I also ordered the Jesus is a Cunt t-shirt from Cradle of Filth. And, yeah. I've always wanted that t-shirt. It's not the, like, original design, but it's the one with the red and black one with the, yeah. And I wouldn't wear it if I was going to work, but if I was going to a bar or something, you know, I'd definitely wear it. You know, if a Christian gets mad at me for wearing that t-shirt at a bar, I have the perfect response to that. I'd be like, well, what would Jesus do? Turn the other cheek. I'm not a Christian by any means, but if I throw that shit in their face, they might get pissed a little. They might get a little pissed, you know. Shipping into Casper is notoriously slow. So if my pipe and what have you doesn't get here tomorrow, then it'll definitely get here like Monday or Tuesday. But I have a good feeling about the pipe tobacco that I ordered to go with it. Made my own custom blend. Chocolate, cherry, peach, and black Cavendish. This pipe tobacco is not only going to be strong, but it's going to have a really nice sweet scent to it. And it's probably going to taste super delicious. Like, I have no doubt about that. I'll definitely do an unboxing video when I get my pipe and my shirt and what have you. But, yeah. Hold on a second. This is what I think about Donald Trump. Donald Trump? Well, like Donald Dump, because he's a racist piece of shit. This has been one hell of an election so far, let me tell you. Fucking nail and teeth, man. But after Ted Cruz dropped out of the fucking race, it's now down to Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are in the same Democratic Party. I do hope Bernie Sanders gets the Democratic nominee. I mean, the Republicans kind of have no choice because Ted Cruz dropped out of the race. I'm saying this on the for real, though. If the Democrats want a fair chance at fighting and debating Donald Trump, they need to elect Bernie Sanders. And, you know, I hear a lot of people bitch about Bernie Sanders, how he's supposedly going to make our country go broke with his free college. That's bullshit. Bernie Sanders wants to legalize pot. And Colorado made so much money off of pot, they had to start giving money back to their citizens. So that right there should tell you that if we legalize weed, we'd be able to use that money for a lot of good things. You know, you'd be able to help lower to middle income students who couldn't afford college actually go. You know. And the unfortunate reality, YouTube, is that when technology makes drilling for oil much easier in Wyoming, that cuts down on a lot of fucking jobs. So if they were to legalize cannabis and hemp out here in Wyoming, it would open up a whole shit ton of new jobs. And the money it would make in Wyoming would put Wyoming back where it used to be before oil became cheap. You know, just something to think about. Now, but the reason why Governor Matt Mead, the governor of Wyoming, doesn't want pot legal in the state, and this is, and I quote, his excuse. Him and his wife say, well, kids are trying alcohol at 13 and 14 years of age. We certainly don't want them trying pot. Meanwhile, Governor Matt Mead is one of 3 people that owns a whiskey factory in Wyoming. I'm not condemning him on his taste in alcohol. I'm a whiskey man myself. However, when you find that out, you realize that his excuse is bullshit. He's afraid of his alcohol factory losing money. Rather than he could start his own pot farm and double his money. You know, he's more worried about losing it than he is about making it. And that's honestly what I would tell him if I could sit down and talk with him one-to-one from a businessman's perspective. Like, look, I know you're an ex-cop and you don't support pot, but hear me out. You legalize that stuff right there along with hemp, you could actually make money. Open up your own pot farm right next to your whiskey factory, and you could double your money. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it, it's a lot easier for minors to buy cigarettes and booze than it is for them to get pot. Because most dealers, you know what I'm saying, are going to be like, you know, this kid looks way too young to be smoking, you know what I'm saying? And we tried alcohol prohibition, it didn't work. You're seeing the startling similarities between alcohol prohibition and marijuana prohibition. You're putting money in the hands of criminals, and if I have a kid and my kid's trying pot for the first time, I would much rather them try pot out of a dispensary where it's legal, and you know you're not buying that pot off the street, you don't know what it's laced with, you know what I'm saying? There are some people that lace their weed with like cocaine and shit, and that just ruins the experience, especially if you're a first-time smoker and you're trying it for the first time, and you try it and it's way too much, and you're like, I don't like this, you know what I'm saying? On the for real though. And what happened with alcohol prohibition? You either knew somebody who could make it, or you knew somebody who had it. And it didn't stop people from drinking, even though it was illegal. And it's the same thing with marijuana prohibition. Either you know somebody who has it, somebody who's growing it, or you know, you take a little trip to Colorado for the weekend and you stay at a hotel and smoke your brains out. You know, I wouldn't mind going to the Stanley Hotel in Colorado with a shit ton of weed and doing a ghost investigation. I'll stone out of my fucking mind. Fucks to the yeah. That'd be some awesome shit, man. Now, how did I get this cut on my thumb, you ask? Well, I had a broken key on my key ring, and rather than use a flathead screwdriver to remove the key from the key ring, I used a sharp knife that I had, and I nicked myself. Yeah. I felt super duper smooth after that. Let me tell you. They have cops on bicycles riding around Casper, and they will not hesitate to give you a speeding ticket if you're going too fast on your pedal. Emphasis on the word pedal bike. Yeah, there are bicyclist cops riding around Casper. My homeboy Scotty got a speeding ticket the other day for riding too fast on his pedal bike. I'm thinking to myself, well, that's just ridiculous. You know, if I get pulled over by a bicyclist cop, I'm going to ask them with a straight face, so, do you like ventriloquism? Have you heard of Jeff Dunham? Like, what the fuck? This is what we're paying, this is what our hard-earned taxpayers' money in Casper is going to fucking paying bicyclist cops to catch people speeding. So if you're going downhill on your bike in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, and if you're going 40 miles per hour and a cop sees you, they can give you a ticket for speeding. First of all, I'm going to be like, do you have that on camera? Because I want to put that up on YouTube. Like, hey YouTube, look how fast I was going downhill. No, but generally speaking, whenever I've had to deal with cops in this town, you know, I don't give them a reason to harass me. I'm very cooperative. You know, I make their life easy, they make my life easy, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a record with the Casper Police Department, but they definitely know my name. And they really can't fuck with me too much because I have Asperger's. So that's one perk, I guess, to having a social disorder. And just because that's true doesn't necessarily mean that I abuse that. Fuck no. Trust and believe. And when I mention that, I'm not trying to play the autistic card, more or less trying to bring awareness to it. I get tired of people saying I just say that to play the card, and it's like, really, dude? I'm just an ass-bee on YouTube. Which, as it turns out, is a derogatory term for somebody with Asperger's syndrome, believe it or not. And I don't feel too bad about having it some days when I realize that Albert Einstein had Asperger's. And people considered him to be a genius. But would you believe that Ben Franklin did drugs? He smoked pot, he snorted coke, he smoked opium. He had clothing that he wore that was made out of 100% hemp. And Benjamin Franklin was high as a kite on opium when he flew that kite in the lightning storm and discovered electricity. Thomas Edison and his buddies, they all smoked pot, more than likely. Thomas Edison definitely smoked pot. And him and his buddies discovered the light bulb. Now, the combination of electricity and the light bulb is used to light up your classrooms and your schools, where teachers sit there and say, kids, drugs are bad, you shouldn't do them. Certain people shouldn't do certain things, you know, like if you drink alcohol and it makes you a violent individual, then you shouldn't drink it. Or if you drink alcohol and you get overly depressed, you know, maybe not have so much. Or if you drink alcohol and you make stupid decisions, you know, moderate yourself a little bit. And the important thing is to know that there's certain things you shouldn't do. Like, straight up fuck crystal meth, dude. Casper, Wyoming has a bit of a meth problem, and it's disgusting, to say the least. You know, I've seen people walking around town fucking tweaked out of their fucking mind. And it's like, well, that's just bullshit, you know what I'm saying? The fact that Casper, Wyoming, and Wyoming in general, you know what I'm saying? In Wyoming, if you get caught with any amount of weed, that's 15 years in prison. If it's under 3 ounces and a misdemeanor. Yeah. Which, yeah, if you get caught with under 3 ounces of pot in Wyoming, you could have a gram on you if they fucking catch you with that shit. They'd be like, well, that's a $1,500 fine and possible jail time. The fact that a marijuana charge is more severe than somebody who gets a rape charge is just beyond disgusting. I seen this one shit on Facebook, man. This veteran, this war veteran, got caught growing some pot in an illegal state. And they gave that dude 15 years in prison. But then some dude rapes a woman on college campus in some other fucked up fucking town. And the dude gets 3 months, but then he gets off early for good behavior in prison. What the fuck, man? You reach your point where you're sick and tired of the drug war. You reach your point, you know. And when you find out that marijuana carries a more serious charge than rape in Wyoming, that's when I've pretty much reached my point, you know. Now, if you're getting arrested by a cop for smoking a little bit of pot, you know what you could do is be like, hey man, would you arrest your mom for smoking it for her pain relief if she had cancer? Or what if your child had seizures like Charlotte did. Have you heard of Charlotte's Web, by the way? So even if he or she arrests you for smoking it, you can at least make them feel like a huge dick. Straight up. And then if they take you to court for it, look at the judge and be like, okay, so you're telling me, judge, to swear to tell nothing but the truth. And you're making me swear on the Bible. Okay, well here's some truthful fact for you. The very first Bible was printed on hemp. Huh. And the Pope's against cannabis. Like, that shit's so hypocritical. In fact, the United States Constitution, yes, the United States Constitution and Declaration of Independence were both drafted on hemp paper. And yet our United States government tells us that cannabis is illegal, growing hemp is illegal. Yeah, hemp is illegal to grow, but you can still get products with hemp in them. Explain that one to me. And if you think for a goddamn second that the government is the very same United States government that tells us, oh, you can't smoke pot, that's a federal offense, blah, 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 turns around and fucking smokes it behind our goddamn backs. You think they don't? You think they don't? You're fucking naive, man. You're fucking naive. I bet you Barack Obama's probably smoking some bud. It's legal where the White House is at. Tell me that ain't a coincidence. He's probably sitting on the White House desk with his feet kicked up, smoking a fat joint like, I'm almost out of here. Now, the thing of it is, YouTube, is Barack Obama can only sign off on laws. He can't make them legal. If you want pot to be legal in this country, you gotta tell the fucking Dick-Eating Anonymous, I mean the DEA, I'm sorry, did I call them something different? You gotta tell them, like, hey man, this shit can be used to treat cancer and seizures and autism and ADHD and arthritis, diabetes and a whole bunch of other shit. Well, it's not FDA approved. So fucking what? You fucking legalize that shit and make the FDA do a huge fucking study on it, you know. Huh. Then they get all these fucking studies that cannabis oil is used to treat and cure cancer. And some people are still not convinced because it's not FDA approved. Yeah, electronic cigarettes didn't get FDA approved. Yeah, people marketed that shit as a safer alternative to cigarettes. And then it turns out that some of these electronic cigarette vapor juices have chemicals that cause cancer in them. And some places are now starting to say, well, you can't smoke your vape pen in here. So they're treating it just like cigarettes, man. And how is it you quit smoking with an electronic cigarette when it has nicotine in them? Some of you might argue that, well, it's just got flavor and no nicotine in it. You're still inhaling some kind of smoke. Well, it's not smoke, it's vapor. Yeah, whatever. You're still holding the vape pen in your hand, which is part of the fixation with cigarettes. And it's not just the addiction to nicotine, it's having it between your fingers. Yeah. True story. When I was in Job Corps, I knew this girl in Job Corps, and she said, and I quote, "Smoking is disgusting. Why would anybody want to smoke?" Yeah. Well, then one day, this girl got it in her head she wanted to try a cigarette. And she took 1 or 2 drags off that cigarette, coughing her lungs out like, oh, this is nasty, why would anybody want to do this? She ends up giving the rest of the cigarette to me, and I said to her, watch, by the time the next smoke break happens, you're going to want another cigarette. And she's like, nuh-uh. Well then, sure as shit, the next fucking smoke break we had, she's sitting there smoking a whole fucking cigarette. I'm like, there you go. And she kind of looked at me and she's like, well, I'm only going to do it every so often. And then she grew to be a bit of a smoker herself, and it's like, yeah, I'm not giving her shit for it because obviously I smoke, but, you know, people's arguments is that, oh, tobacco's bad for you, you're gonna die if you smoke that shit. My argument to that is we're all gonna fucking die. If this shit makes my life just a little bit less stressful, fuck it. How I get this cut on my thumb? Using a knife to get a broken key off my key ring. I got the key replaced and it's all good and squared away, but in hindsight, I should have used the screwdriver first. And as soon as I used the fucking flathead screwdriver to get the broken key out the key ring, yeah, much easier. But tobacco, the effects on your body are slow. Very, very, very slow. So by the time I'm old enough to where tobacco starts affecting my health, I guarantee you cannabis will be legal. If I get cancer from cigarettes, I'll just be like, look, give me some cannabis oil. Yeah, like I said, there was a minor delay in the order. Now that my age is verified on pipesandcigars.com, and they only ask for it once, and once they know you're old enough, you have to be 18 years of age or older to purchase tobacco in the United States. But if you live in the United States and you want to order tobacco online, you got to be 21 years of age or older. What in the actual flying fuck? That makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Well, anyway, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all later.